Next, we're going to talk about units of time. So just as we did with length, we're going to talk about how to convert from time into a different amount of time. So for instance, let's say you're a runner and you are running a marathon. When you complete the marathon, the clock reads 2:42:15, which of course means 2 hours, 42 minutes, and 15 seconds. And we want to know, what is that time in minutes? Well, we already know that I've got 42 minutes. I also have 2 hours, and I need to turn that into minutes. So just as I did before, I'm going to end up with hours on the bottom and minutes on the top. And how many minutes are in an hour? Hopefully we already know that, but if you don't, take a look at the table. So there's 1 hour and 60 minutes, which gives me an additional 120 minutes. 15 is in seconds, so 15 seconds, I need to turn that into minutes as well. And so there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. And if I multiplied and then divided, I would end up with 0.25 or 1/4. And so if I were turning this into total time in minutes, I would add 120 plus the 42 plus the 0.25, and I would end up with 162.25 minutes. Good job. Good job just even making it through a marathon. Here's another question. Our plane leaves the Bahamas via Houston from Omaha at 5:50 a.m. Central Standard Time. The flight to Houston takes 2 hours, 14 minutes. You have a layover of 1 hour, 26 minutes. And then the last leg of the flight is 3 hours and 7 minutes. What time will it be in Omaha when you land? So there's a lot going on here. First, we need to figure out how much time are we in the air. So let's add up all of those times. Not just in the air, excuse me. How much time total are we spending in the air and of course on our layover? So we have 2 hours, 14 minutes. We have 1 hour, 26 minutes. And we have 3 hours and 7 minutes. I think it would be worth every minute to get to the Bahamas. 2 plus 1 plus 3 is 6 hours. 14 plus 26 is 40 plus 7, that's 47 minutes. So 6 hours and 47 minutes. So I'm going to take my 5 hours and 50 minutes, which is what time I left, and I'm going to add to that 6 hours and 47 minutes. If I add these two, I get 11 hours, which means 11 something. If I add these two, I end up with 97 minutes. And that doesn't make sense because there is no time that is 11:97. So that's no good. I can, however, take this 97 and say, well, 60 of those minutes could make another hour. So I could add one over here. And then the other 37 minutes could still remain in minutes. So 11:97 now turns into 12 because I added that hour. And then 37, and of course now we're on the PM side of the scale. Here's one for you to try on your own. So try it, then press play to see how you did. If the average person works 40 hours per week for 50 weeks of the year, how many full days, so full 24-hour days, if you just worked and never had to sleep, how many days would that take per year? So how many days per year are you actually spending working? And then as a follow-up, how many weeks is that? So let's take a look. We've got 40 hours per week. We've got 50 weeks per year. So we need to know how many hours total do we have. So 40 times 50 is 2,000 hours per year. So this is per year of work. So how many 24-hour days does that convert to? Well, if I've got 2,000 hours and I know there are 24 hours in one day, then I'm going to multiply 2,000 times 1 and divide it by 24. And what I'm left with is 83 1/3 days. So 83 and 1/3 days. So that says how many full 24-hour days. So full 24-hour days, 83. To answer that question, how many full 24-hour days is 83 full days in a row? How many weeks is that? Well, I know that in 83 days, and there are 7 days in 1 week, and of course then I'm going to take 83 times 1 and divide it by 7. And again, I end up with a decimal here. I get 11.85, etc. I would say about how many weeks is that? It's about 12 weeks. So it's really darn close to 12 weeks.